Alright, in this video, I'm going to maybe not so much show you how to make your own door panel, but to encourage you to give it a try. Now, if you did the electric window conversion, and by golly, why wouldn't you do the electric window conversion? Because for $100, you could make both your windows electric and not have to deal with a window crank. And they just are such a joy to have. So this is my latest door panel. Basically, I use 3/16 paneling. I try to use a water-resistant type that's made for bathrooms and basements. Both of those types are made to not be affected by moisture. I think actually I couldn't get that type, so I painted the back of the panel with sealer, because most of us don't have the plastic that used to be to plug up the holes in the inner door panel. Rain coming down your door, your glass, can drip off and get on your lovely cardboard or paper original door panels. Now, this particular case, I took a thin piece of wood and wrapped it with vinyl so I could have a little separate border at the back. This is cherry veneer that I applied to the paneling, and then multiple coats of boat varnish. Boat varnish, good. It's made for extreme temperatures, baking in the sun, salt water, and everything. So resistant to a lot of things, and it gave me, I chose a satin, non-shiny finish. And I got some glue-on chrome to dress it up a little bit. Now, I kind of screwed up on this door panel. I glued the vinyl on to the back side of the metal armrest part here. Well, some of the glue oozed out and hardened, and it gave me all these lumps here. I may have to redo this panel, but this is just for a regular car that I made. I put the chrome strip there to sort of hide the lumps. This is an early Mazda Miata armrest, and I've got that right there. Now, on my other car, this handle is over here. Well, I goofed on this door, and I kind of did things randomly, and I didn't take measurements. And I'll show you why that kind of caused a problem. For one thing, I have the handle on my other car apparently back here, with the latch right there above this little front section of the door, of the armrest. My speaker is also back here a little bit. And I did those door panels correctly. I did not do these panels correctly. And here's what I did that was incorrect. So you take the door panel off. And I don't know if you can see it, but I'll try. Right here, this piece of metal is part of your door hinge support structure. And I had to slice into it about an inch, because I made the speaker hole in my door panel an inch too far forward. So take this into account, that when you cut the hole in your panel, that you take into account that you're going to have to cut a hole here. A previous owner had a speaker here. I did this one nasty and rough with an angle grinder. I did a much better job on my other door panel. But make sure to space it so that when you cut the hole, you don't also have to cut through this other piece of metal that's about 3/4 of an inch deeper in. I used a hand jigsaw with a metal grade fine blade, and I kick myself now for using an angle grinder because I just went out and bought a new hand jigsaw, and the hole I cut in that door, my other door panel, is perfect. So don't do what I did. All right. Here's the door panel. This is good high grade plywood. I riveted the upper metal part to the plywood, drilled holes and rivets. I also riveted the lower panel that I put on here on. Now you have to do your upholstery in stages when you do these. In this case, for one thing, I use goop to hold upholstery to things. Nothing really sticks to the vinyl surface. So don't expect to be able to glue anything to stick to the vinyl. Trim away your vinyl and fan it out to make it so that you don't have a piece of vinyl laying on top of another, because this one's not going to stick to the vinyl surface. The other side of the vinyl is cloth, and stuff sticks to that real good. You're going to first glue some vinyl to the bottom edge of this metal plate up top, and I use red clips to let me go see if I can find those. Hang on, Charlie, you're going to have to edit this out. Oh, I don't have any clips. All right, these are sheet metal paper clips that you can get at an office supply store like Staples or Office Depot. I don't know if either of those two companies are still in business. There's different sizes, big to small. You can use these things to redo your entire car. I use these when I'm installing a headliner. I've used them throughout the car when I reupholster panels or make my own interior panels. I also make my own custom dashboards, and these things are just great for clamping things in place while the goop dries. This Mazda Miata door handle originally was tan in color. They often are usually found in black, and I bought fabric paint, which worked marvelously, and then I hit it with some clear coat because it ends up with a dry finish, or at least the paint I used had a dry finish. Unfortunately, my colors don't match perfectly. These are sort of a beige or a tan-ish beige, whereas the beige I'm using on the rest of the car is a gray beige. So I'm still searching for the correct paint so that these things match, but time will come for that. So when you're done installing electric windows, you're going to have a hole left over where your window crank is. Now, the thing is it's really hard to replace your door panels with the 3/16 paneling, because they made the window regulator shaft so short it barely goes on to the normal paper thin door panel. The extra thickness and rigidity of the door panel, of the paneling that I use, makes it so that you just can't get the door handle, the window crank on, if you're keeping your window cranks, without it scraping and rubbing against there. I have in the past cut the hole larger, but that's a less than desirable situation. But let's say you put electric windows in. You could put your electric window switches right here where the hole is. Or you could decide, you know what, I'm going to do what Gordo says, and I'm just going to make my own door panel. So see you later. Hey, while you're at it, you've made yourself a new door panel. You've possibly also put all new nice window rubber in, and you've replaced the guides in your window lifter. Why stop there? Why not improve the sound system in your car? Now, many people, because the window crank is oftentimes up top, it's not on this door, will put the speaker down low. Well, that's acoustically a bad location. It's shooting the sound at your feet. Up high is much better, because treble and mid-range are directional sound frequencies, so they want an unobstructed path to your ears, whereas the deep bass notes can be taken care of with a subwoofer or with a larger diameter speaker like triaxial speakers in the back. But you want your treble and mid-range to be unobstructed, so the higher up you have the speaker, the better. Now, a lot of people, like the previous owner, screwed through the paper original door panel and screwed the speaker through the door panel and into the car. Well, now that's going to transmit vibrations into all the little rattly pieces like your rods for your door latch and so forth. And I discovered that it's much better to screw the speaker directly to your nice, good wood door panel. Now it's completely free floating. The vinyl that you have around the edges acts as a vibration dampener. It also fixes a certain problem. We don't have a lot of depth between the inner door panel, inner door skin, and the glass. And you oftentimes have to go searching for a low profile speaker, because otherwise the speaker will hit the glass. Well, using the thicker paneling and mounting the speaker on the outside of the panel and the grill on top of that, you actually reduce the depth of the speaker by a good ½ an inch. And you can probably use then any speaker you could find and it won't touch the glass. So that'll make your speaker choice better. All right. Well, that's about it for making your own door panel. You can do anything you want with your door panel. You could, on my other car, it's all vinyl, and I chose an alligator skin textured vinyl to do it. I have a dark brown, or brown and black type on the armrest, and I use a solid black type on the lower. It's much simpler to make. All I had to do was wrap and fold the vinyl around the entire lower board. I decided to get a little fancier this time. My dashboard has cherry on the instrument panel, so I decided to extend the cherry motif into the door panels. There's all sorts of things you can do. I jazzed up my other door panels with a lightning bolt to be reminiscent of the Opel Blitz symbol. And I put a little background behind it, and I like them a lot. This one is a different concept. I don't sew, so I can't stitch my vinyl to put little designs and patterns in there, but if some of you have a wife or somebody you know with a sewing machine, you can do all sorts of things. You don't have to use wood. You could put carbon fiber on top of the door. You could put stainless steel. Absolutely anything that you can think of, that you can apply to a piece of paneling, you can do. And you can now customize your car, and every time you get in your car, you can see your handiwork sitting there. Now, of course, it's best to get another set of door panels so that you don't screw up the ones you have. This way, if you make a mistake or you fail miserably, well, you haven't destroyed your car or the only door panels you have. So find a junk GT and trace the door panel. Do not go past this edge with your panel. Right there, and this edge here, and this edge here. If your panel extends past these points, it could hit the window rubber or not the window rubber, but the door rubber that goes around the opening. So make sure you don't make them too wide or too far. Don't let them extend past this edge. And that's about it for a quickie course in how to make your own door panels.